Hi, race fans. We're here tonight. We got some sport track action going on. Martinsville. That's right. They call it the paperclip conveyor belt of racing. But it ought to be a good one here tonight for the Cyberr Thunder League here tonight. We got a unique name for the race tonight. The Moose Juice 200. I like that. That's funny. But I got somebody up in the booth with me that, well, we know Mom out there is going to be excited to hear. But I talk about him, man, throughout the races and some. And he also, man, runs a great league here at Cyberr Thunder. Oh, Tom Ricker up here. What's going on, Tom?
Hey, Joe. Good to be up here, out here from Martinsville. Yeah, I couldn't race my way up into the booth, so I figured I would just come up here and hang out with you for the next 200 laps here from Martinsville. But yeah, I was having some issues with my computer, and I didn't want to take any chances, especially with this being the cutoff race to go into the final race at Phoenix next week. 6 drivers going for 2 spots at the end of tonight's race.
Absolutely. You know, we're going to flash it up on the everybody see viewer-wise what we're talking about, because I mentioned it last week. This is the last race, and then we go 4 drivers have a shot for a championship here in the Cyberr Thunder League, and it's been exciting. As you can see right there on the chart, 2 drivers already, buying their way into the final 4. But there's going to be 2 more spots left tonight, and it will be interesting who gets that on a tricky styles track here. This place can be a good track, or it can be some mayhem here.
Yeah, Joe, and with Greg and Cody already locking themselves into the round of 4 at Phoenix next week, you got Corey and Dustin sitting there in 3rd and 4th place. But Gary Bowman currently 2nd on qualifying right now, just behind Greg Mitchell. Chris Harefield also needs to win his way in to Phoenix. Chris is also 3rd on the board. Corey Sherman, he's also on the bubble as well. So I think there's going to be a lot of storylines to play out here.
Yeah, and we thought about that last week. To win, got that one locked up for himself. We saw a lot of other guys. I've been talking about it close. So I'm with you. Tonight to be one of these tracks. It almost kind of mimics that the plate track style feel. Anything can happen. And there could be some disaster for guys, or they can be. And like you said, hey, it's going to be a good one here. 200 laps, pace themselves. And I know that's always easier said than done as a driver. I talk about it a lot, being patient, but I mean, how hard is it to be?
I mean, it's very easy to think you're being patient and just wind up pushing somebody up out of the way, especially getting into a corner here. I mean, Joe, we always run with 3 green, white checkers here. These guys, the race is scheduled for 200 laps. But who really knows how many laps we're going to be running here at the end of the race, especially if we get some of these bubble drivers up towards the front at the end of the race. Gary Bowman, Andrew Caldwell, Steve Burnett. Steve is in a must-win situation. We'll see what these guys are willing to do to make their way to Phoenix.
Yeah, and I'm with you there too. And in Phoenix, obviously, we're going to have this going to be the final 4. The guys, 4 guys going to go for a championship there. What's going on out there, man? Yeah, paperclip, ought to be a good one. There's Kathy, man. Hops in there. Speak out, man. What's up, for Paul? Appreciate everybody tuning in. Like qualifying's coming to a close, and the man up front, Greg Mitchell, he has been dominant most of the season, all season long. We'll flash up here a little bit. Second. flash up here on the starting grid. Let you look, see who the guy, maybe some of your favorite driver out there that you're rooting for. Pulling forward, you got Greg Mitchell going to sit it out front with Bowman there in second. Talked about it. Heisman starting in third. And Harefield, he needs a win here tonight. He's starting in fourth. Not a bad spot, but so does Dustin Ping. He'd love to be able to punch his ticket in that final four there. He's sitting in fifth. Corey Sherman's another one. Larry Bell, you got Burnett sitting in eighth. Wellman up in ninth, and around the top 10, you got Matthew Semple. Look through the rest of the field, man. We have got, it is 31 drivers, and that's something that I've got to give a shout out to you there, Tom, and a testament to the league, because a multitude of times a lot of the drivers fall off because they think, well, I don't have anything to race for. It's a good thing that a lot of these drivers come out here and still want to battle, win, and have fun here on the track.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of these drivers getting ready as we take a look past the chase grid here. These guys getting ready for 2025 season one, which, Joe, I think we've already confirmed between you and I. But OSRN's going to be back for the entirety of 2025 season one. Going to see a lot of familiar faces and familiar places to start our next season on February 25th. So we got this race next week, and then we're going to take a couple of weeks off, and we're going to go back into points racing at the end of February, Joe.
And I'm excited, man. I appreciate you guys letting me come up here and do it. It has been a good season. I really, I've had fun up here. They're longer style races, so a lot of strategy has to play into it. We have the stages. That's kind of different. That you have to play into that as a driver too. I have fun out there. The viewers appreciate everybody tuning in, and so all in all, it's been a good one. But you hear me talk about it week in, week out. Bowman, I like Game Genie. Let's see if he's got a cheat code here tonight. Maybe. Pain.
Well, Gary has certainly put himself in a good spot to possibly do that and race his way into Phoenix for the championship race. Starting second on the outside lane here as the pace car begins to roll off on the front stretch here. 31 cars strong around this half-mile paper clip in Martinsville Speedway.
Yeah, it is, man. I tell you, Martinsville, track environment. I mean, Bristol and Martinsville probably the most known tracks in NASCAR. We was talking about it earlier about race coming up in real life. Looking to go green here. Pace car. These guys building. This is mostly a one groove style track. You got to get that inside groove and bump and run. I like the bump and run. I don't want to wreck anybody, but me, I came back from the old school days, not this new age stuff, Tom. I was talking about earlier, but I was old school, bump and run, the true bump and run. I mean, not wreck. I like to see.
Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit before, Joe, but the lights are off the iRacing.com pace car. The iRacing.com pace car going to make the hard left-hand turn down into pit road, and we're about to go racing for 200 laps here, Joe, from Martinsville Speedway.
Absolutely, man. Greg Mitchell. Getting set, man. Here we go. Green flag's about to fly. Pace cars pulled off. We're set here tonight. Two drivers are going to be able to punch themselves in a ticket, drive for a championship next week. But for the meantime, green flag. Mitchell gets to jump out front with Bowman and company. It is 2x2 all the way back.
2x2 all the way back. Bowman with Mitchell with the 3-car lead. Bowman comfortably in second. Cody Heinzman's able to take third place as well. First battle on track looks like Chris Harefield and Dustin Ping as everybody makes their way through lap number one, clean and green here, one of 200 down.
Absolutely, and so far you see out front Mitchell, he's got that lead that he likes to sit on. Bowman's back there. You got the battle going on around about 8th to 9th place spot. Eric Anderson there with Simple, and Thompson along with him there, 12th place. You can see that outside groove. We talked about it earlier. That's not really the place you want to be. You want to try to get on that inside as quick as you can because you're just going to get freight trained on that outside lane.
And keeping an eye on the 8th place battle for second now up here. Cody Heinzman, Gary Bowman. Cody Heinzman taking a look on the inside of Gary Bowman. He's able to clear him on his way out of turn number 4 across the stripe. And we got our first yellow of the night.
Looks like back here going to be Ethan Milwayne. He's one of them involved, but let's go back here on the replay. Check out what happened. Him and another one, Silverson's going to be involved with it too. We'll start here. We'll ride along with Ethan and see if it actually started with him or if it started right there in front of him. Team is in that green machine, folks. Right there, side. Or everything's good. Oh, it looks like the 92 got loose and then just had to check up. Then the 20 had nowhere to go, just got it back. One of them racing deals. I mean, that's just short track racing.
Well, Joe, we didn't talk about the stages before the green flag out here tonight, but stages, the end of lap number 60, the end of lap number 120, fuel run is over that. They can go about 90, 95 laps on fuel. So I think a lot of these guys can be electing to maintain track position here, especially up towards the front in the early parts of this race.
Absolutely, and I mentioned those stages usually, like you said, and the stages that we're looking for. Obviously, stage number 64 here tonight, so keep an eye out there, folks, for stage number 64. Also looking for 114. Now, if a caution flies, we've seen this in the past, if a caution flies before around lap number, I told y'all wrong, lap 60 and lap 120, my bad. If the caution flies at lap 54 and 114, then that will be considered the stage caution for that moment. And obviously, the last one, stage 20. Something I usually talk about week in and week out, Tom, pit stops. And Kathy, let me know if it gets any better there. I might have been moving my mouth away from the mic a couple times. My bad. Pit stops. I see week in and week out unique style pit stops. Everybody does it differently. I'm going to say, strategy-wise, if you're in the back, maybe you'll pit before the stage. If you're up front, maybe go for the stage and then pit when the stage happens. What do you normally see?
I usually see it from about the 17th place perspective. But no, I usually just kind of hang around and see kind of what everybody else is doing. Maybe put yourself in a spots to take advantage of a late caution, maybe catching some cars a lap down, but we'll see what these guys do. But I think we're going to see these guys take track position out here tonight.
Well, they're going to line them up side by side, 2 by 2 here, and it's looking good. Greg Mitchell's the man out front, about to set us back to green here. First caution of the night, which, hey, it's Bristol. Bristol. It's one of the short tracks. It's Martinsville. Got them all confused up there for a second. All excited. Mitchell takes off, green flag. Heisman and company behind him. Remember, Heisman was able to get around Bowman, but unfortunately had to start on the outside. Let's see if he can clear him coming out of the turn. He was able to. So those top two guys have been going at each other. Now, tonight, I'm not going to say they don't have anything to race for, because they definitely do. They want to race to see how well and competitive they are, because those two definitely are racing for a championship. And this right here could set up like, okay, if this was Phoenix, man, Mitchell, where he's at right now, if the race was the end, would be our champion, because that's whoever finishes in front of whoever.
Yeah, I mean, Greg with 7 wins on the season, Cody with 8 wins on the season. It's hard to say that these two guys aren't the favorites for the championship come next week at Phoenix, but I mean, don't count out Andrew Caldwell, don't count out Dustin Ping. Dustin has been right up there. Doesn't have the wins in the wins column like these two guys up front, but Dustin's been up there almost every single week as they about a top 5 breakaway here. But
watching this truck right here, we had a truck. Oh, Casey Tomlinson just lost it and got the inside barrels, blew that truck up. No caution, he was able to get that thing towed and get off to the track. So let the folks out there see that replay as he's talking about the guys up front. You're right, Dustin Ping, that's another guy here. And we got another truck off in the back here, Gary Wright.
Gary Wright, yeah, out of turn number 2.
I can see what happened to him real quick. Get back to Dustin here. In that orange and blue style machine there, folks. And it's a 42 and him maybe just got a little bit together. Contact, that's just typical, man. You're throwing it in on a short track. But you talked about Dustin Ping, and we talked about him a couple times in the past, and he has shown some great promise. Now, again, he is wanting to punch his ticket in to want to be in one of those final 4 next week to race for a championship. And I'm going to tell you, if he's able to finish the deal here, seal the deal tonight, those three right there, whew, that's a combination. It's going to be a tough one heading into Phoenix.
It's going to be a tough one, but you know what else is tough is Cody Heinzman is putting the tough on Greg Mitchell right now for the race lead as they come through turns 1 and 2. But yeah, I mean, we already know who 2 of the drivers are going to be going into Phoenix, but who those other 2 drivers going to be, not entirely sure. Corey Sherman, Dustin Ping come into Martinsville with the points advantage, but with the stages, we'll have to see how that plays out. Chris Harefield looking to make up some points. Steve Burnett looking to make up some points. Both those guys up in the top 10.
Yeah, and you're right, and that's what they need to do. You talk about Harefield last week, had a pretty darn good run for himself, and tonight still looking like a good one. You got Corey Sherman right there along with it, and love shouting out Corey and Amanda Sherman, out there, man, definitely racing the families. I like that. Still love the family members out there watching, but Harefield, yeah, he's showing up too. Steve Burnett right there behind him, sitting in 7th. Larry Bell hanging on to the 8th. John Milwayne there in 9th. You got Mackenzie Milwayne, so the Milwayne boys up there 9th and 10th. Everybody just being kind of patient. You talk about up front here with Heinzman. He's trying to put pressure on Mitchell. The problem is unless Mitchell just makes a mistake or I go back to that little bit of bump, this is a tough place to pass.
Continuing to keep an eye up here on the lead. Cody Heinzman right up on the back bumper, that number 55 Chevy Silverado as they race halfway down the backstretch here. 20 laps complete, looking for lap number 60 for stage 1. That's when we're going to hand out our first bucket of stage points. Dustin Ping in a good spot. I think if Dustin, now I'm bad at math, Joe. I don't know if you were a math major or not, but I think if Dustin is able to get some stage points here, as long as we don't get Gary Bowman, Andrew Caldwell, Chris Harefield, or Stephen Burnett winning the races, we got a yellow over the track. I think Dustin will probably lock himself into the round of 4.
Looks to be Jackie Brennan in that 65 machine right there, folks. You can see it. He got out of the way. Oh, the 01 got to clip the apron and just came up into him a little bit. Little contact. Unfortunate there for him. But, yeah, I'm with you on that one. It's going to be interesting points-wise. The top 2 guys, you see, Cody, man, it's faking out a little bit. Yeah. All right, nah, not yet. I'm good.
He's trying to bury Greg in track position there, I think, Joe.
Yeah, to go back to, really, Mitchell and Heinzman at this point, they probably, in this race here, probably could do something wild. Maybe test the waters of a pit strategy or anything like that, because they are locked in to that championship. So again, I go back to, yes, they want to win, obviously, but they really don't have a lot to lose here tonight. So this is kind of maybe a test race for them on what do I have to do, maybe strategy wise and so forth to win that championship coming Phoenix. Ian, man, right now still under caution. Mitchell out front with Heinzman. Ping there with him. We got Bowman, German, Harefield, Burnett, Milwayne, and Caldwell, top 10.
Yeah, I mean, you take a look right now in 4th place, Gary Bowman. Gary is the first one out, came in about 16 points down. 16 points down to the 4th place spot underneath Dustin Ping. Unfortunately, Dustin Ping is running in front of Gary, so right now that does not help
right
him.
Behind him.
yeah. I mean, you could throw a blanket over all these guys, and we'll see how that plays out.
Well, it's crazy because the top 7 are all chase-style drivers.
Yeah, I mean, Joe, it's really easy just to say that the talent is going to raise to the front of the field here as the season begins to make their way down to the season finale next week.
Absolutely. Phoenix, man, going to sit there, going to crown us the champ here tonight. It's been a really, really good one in this race here. I've had fun all season long with these guys here, and the Moose Juice 200. I like the up with that name, by the way.
That was our race sponsor, Matthew Semple. I was going to call it the Hot Dog Stand 200. I had about 9 of them here last time I was in Martinsville. They're good, but they might kill you. But hey. Matt Semple, race sponsor, came up with the Moose Juice 200. Pace car down and away. Barney's got the flag in his hand.
Yeah, we're going back green. Mitchell gets the jump because he's the leader. Got that jump out front. Got Heinzman, see if he can jump down on the inside. He does. Ping is going to get the advantage of the inside with Bowman and company there with him. Sherman, you got Burnett, Harefield back there too. Remember what we said, the top 7 are all chase-style drivers right now, and every one of these guys are battling hard to try to get those final 2 stops, and we got caution.
Caution out of turn number 4 here.
Who it was?
Trying to see who that might be.
A quick spin or something. Yeah, he didn't flash up who spun, so it's probably like somebody just like did a complete 360 and kept going.
So, Joe, here
and see. What's that? Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, so Joe, we start to talk about these early cautions, right? You start to think about the implications, right? If Greg and Cody and Dustin, if they want to maybe come down, get tires, get fuel, that's going to mire them in the back of the pack and maybe put them in a spot to get involved in one of these cautions as they come out.
I saw where it was. There's just a couple cars right there. I think Silverson was one of them. Go back here on the replay and see one more time. I saw those guys up front. Yeah, it was what I thought. It just looked like a couple of trucks kind of just got a little sideways and then got back quick. That's why it didn't register on my end over here that somebody wrecked. I'm going to watch the 20.
I got an incident on the 76 and the 62.
Up here. My checks up right there. Oh, yep. 76 got turned. And then the 20, he went in there. So, yep. It was just basically a little bump in the back right there. Saw it, folks. And then he got it going straight. That's why it didn't register my end over here. So, but you're right. I'm with you there. And that is a good point to bring up, too. You know, even though you might want to take some strategy. If this maybe was a 1.5 mile track, yeah, Martinsville though, yeah, it's so easy to get caught up in something. I mean, it's a narrow track, not a lot of room here, so you know, trucks definitely could get in. The track get filled up. You can get caught up in something, but there again, well, you know, I guess on the flip side of that, there too, Tom, is if they do get caught up in it. Hallelujah that I'm already locked into the Final Four. I don't have to worry. As opposed to, like we said, Dustin Ping or Bowman or them, if they take those chances and get involved in something, yeah, that hurts.
Well, that's why I don't want to say this race is a throwaway for Cody and Greg here, right? Because they're obviously still racing each other. They're still racing for a win. They're racing for a checkered flag here on the half mile. Yep. But they have a little bit of advantage, right? They can race tonight knowing that they're in Phoenix no matter what we do over these next 170 laps as the pace car is down and away, and we're about to take the green flag once again for the 4th time.
Absolutely. Green flag flies. Mitchell and company up front. He gets the jump. Heinzman did not get the jump he wanted that time. As Ping's going to see if he can't sling it down on the inside, take that second place spot. So he knows the assignment tonight. He's got to do everything he possibly can. Never mind, Cody's able to get it back. He's going to go for the lead, and that's what he needed. Mitchell to make just a little bit of mistake, bobble up the track, get that inside, and I think he's going to take it, and caution.
One of our chase drivers in trouble in the back of the pack in turn number 4. Chris Harefield goes around.
Oh,
I think Chris.
Yes, he does. Yeah, Chris, let's go back and watch.
Retired.
Wow, man, unfortunate night for him. Let's see what happened. Like the 21, just a little bit of bump, and then got him around. Unfortunate, man, there. And we were just talking about what would happen consequence-wise, and I hate to usually kind of say definites, but that definitely puts him out of the Final Four running.
Well, I mean, there's still 170 laps to go, Joe. I mean, I don't want to count out Chris Harefield. Chris has been able to race his way into the playoffs for a reason. Chris is a very good competitor. It looks like we got our first couple of.
Did he stay in the race?
Yeah, he's still in the race. Chris currently running back in 27th right now, maybe cycling through.
I thought when you said he unfortunately got disconnected out. Okay, so at least he stayed in. Okay, then all right. Well, I tracked what I said. Then he's got a shot still. Had to go back green. Cody did get the lead from Mitchell, so it's not like dirt, folks. And if you're new to dirt racing or anything like that on iRacing, and I when I first did a dirt race, I was kind of confused on the caution one time when the guy passed him, and then the caution came out and he had to give the spot back. And they said in dirt racing they had to do the whole lap, and I was like, what? Wait a minute, really? I'm used to the NASCAR. You get around the guy, the caution comes out, you get that spot. So Cody was able to get it. Mitchell now in second. So this is huge on a track like Martinsville. I think track position is going to be the key, and the inside is going to be the key. We've seen it already in several starts, especially there with Dustin Ping. He was able to get that inside groove. But now Cody gets to control that front line.
Yeah, Cody's going to be the control car for the restart here as they begin to double up for the restart here. One guy that I've been keeping my eye on here, Joe, up 3 spots already. Doesn't seem like a whole lot, but when you figure we've had 4 cautions in the first 35 laps. Stephen Burnett qualified 8th up to 5th. He is in one of those must-win positions. So the 5 car beginning to put his way into the player category for the end of this race here.
Yeah, you got it. He's sitting right there in 5th place spot, like you said. And, we've got some good heavy movers. Andrew Caldwell up 8 spots there. Mackenzie Milwayne up 7. Pace car takes it, turn off on pit road. We're going back green. Heinzman and Company up front. You see him get the jump on Mitchell. Ping did not get the start that he wanted, but Sherman and Company is going to be battling back there. But yeah, we've had some heavy movers. You got Ross back in 14th place spot. We'll go back there and look. Go back in 14. He's up 10 spots already. Let's kind of look through the field here a little bit. You got Stiverson back there in 18. Good looking trucks here. Murphy, he's back there in the back too, along with Anderson and Company. So great looking trucks out here tonight.
Yeah, Joe, and taking a look back up towards the front of the field, Greg Mitchell, I don't think he got the start that he was hoping to get there. He lost about maybe a 0.3 of a second lead to Cody Heinzman, currently running in second, but Stephen Burnett now up to 4th. Corey Sherman is on the backslide right now as Gary Bowman makes his way around for 5th place.
Yeah, he got caught up on an outside groove, man. Just unfortunate on his end. Fell back a little bit. Hate to see it on that one, but he's back up there in 6th. You got Bowman sitting in 5th. Milwayne sitting right there in the 7th. Andrew Caldwell up 8 spots. Having a great night here so far in that Safe Flight machine. He's up in 8th. You got John Milwayne there in 9th. Larry Bell, unfortunately, dropped back there 3 spots back in the 10th. Tanner Marr, I know those two are teammates out there. So Bell and Marr sitting in 10th and 11th. Simple. Yeah, he's lost a little bit. Been kind of quiet here so far tonight. Anderson's back there too. Just kind of looking through the field here. I don't know. Great field. I just can't say it enough. And we go back here to Harefield. He's trying everything he can. He's still right there, 28, taking the 27th spot. Here's where he's just got to be patient. Pick them off one by one. Hopefully get some green flag runs. Play to that stage, and just be kind of patient there, Tom.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Chris to be patient coming through the field here. Right now, currently running in, looks like 24th, 27th, 20, yeah, somewhere around back there after that caution a couple of laps ago. He needs some stage points. That's what he needs. He came in like 30-something points back off of Dustin Ping. So if I'm Chris, maybe I'm just focused in my goal on winning the race here. Maybe doing something off strategy with the leaders here as we're working lap number 43. Cody Heinzman, Greg Mitchell, and Dustin Ping currently your top 3. They come through here, but we'll see what they decide to do in that 18 camp.
Absolutely. Sent you something there on the Discord there that'll actually really help you out too, live timing and so forth. But you got Heinzman out front, Mitchell sitting right in 2nd, Ping up in 3rd. Those two guys, they're trying to stretch their lead a little bit. Burnett's up there too, Bowman. And this is what green flag runs will do, kind of just, separate the field a little bit.
Yep, yeah, looks like they're starting to get separated a little bit out here. See some guys playing nice. I think a lot of these people are like, hey, we had 4 cautions in the first 35 laps. Now, we know that we've got a stage coming at the end of lap number 60. Let's just kind of ride, get some stage points. I know that's what's in the back of Dustin Ping's mind. I know that's what's in the back of Stephen Burnett's mind. Corey Sherman. These guys looking for stage points, and they're just hoping the rest of the field plays nice.
Yeah, no doubt. Watching this battle here under a blanket, kind of going on around 7th, 8th, 9th place spots. You got Mackenzie Milwayne, Andrew Caldwell, Don Milwayne. That's where kind of like a lot of, the trucks are kind of bunched up together. You got Tanner Marr right there in the mix of Bell and Simple. So anything can happen with those guys as we are getting close. We got about, about 20 laps to go, and then we go to our first stage here tonight. About 15 laps or whatnot. Our first stage tonight. And you're right. I had a few cautions there early on. I think at this point they know that, and they're like, okay, let's settle down. Guys a little jittery at first, get a little hyped up, maybe excited.
Well, Joe, I tell you what, the stuff happens fast here in Martinsville. Cody Heinzman only about 8 seconds back from catching lap cars here. I mean, that could become a factor here as Cody Heinzman leads Greg Mitchell as they enter turn number 3, working lap number 48 out here. They're on the same straightaway, so this could very well become a factor before the end of the stage.
Yeah, and you see that a lot in short track racing. You're going to long green flag runs. You're going to catch the field. You're going to catch in the back end, and this is where that I don't know if Mitchell he's going to try to see if he can't maybe capitalize on one of those lap cars. It's a good shot right here to see. Yeah, about a straightaway. He was talking about it. And Heinzman's got. Then you got Mitchell right there behind him. And at some point I'm trying to wonder here. Mitchell just kind of riding his, Ping's kind of doing everything he can. Just maybe see what those guys will do up front. And they're spread out. Pretty good spread out between the top, really the top 4 or 5 are all spread out pretty good right now.
Taking a look around out here, Joe, I think one of the best tracks, or one of the best battles on track is between the 16 of Matt Semple and Larry Bell. Back for about the 13th-12th spot here. They're running pretty much nose to tail down through the straightaways and the corners here. These guys have been running, I think the 16 is a little bit faster than the 05 right now, but like we were talking about 20 minutes ago or so hard to pass here. But I know Matt Semple's trying to make his way up into the 11th spot here, as there's a battle in front of them as well between Tanner and who is that? John Milwayne, I believe.
Yeah, John Milwayne and Tanner Marr, and you see there, actually Semple was able to make it around Bell. So he was able to scoot around him, so Bell maybe kind of realized what you was talking about. He's a little bit faster, don't want him to get in the back end of him. But you're right, Marr right there in the front of him. He's got his battle there with Milwayne. He's going to see if he can't take that. That's for 9th and 10th place spot. And then in front of them, you got Caldwell and Mackenzie Milwayne up there battling it out, along with Corey Sherman, who unfortunately has fell back to the 6th place spot. So that's a 3-truck battle there.
Yep, and a 2-truck battle up here for the lead, kind of jumping around, action all over this half-mile track. Leaders are now in traffic. Cody Heinzman has caught, I believe that is going to be Gary Wright in the 91. I could be wrong about that, but I believe that's Gary Wright in the 91 that Cody Heinzman currently working through. Greg Mitchell maybe seeing an opportunity to take over that lead spot here as we come to the end of stage 1.
Yeah, you got it. Heinzman out front, Mitchell there with him, and car round. Chris Ross. See what happened to him back here in that 24 machine. And him and the 20 back there battling hard. Oh, the 20 got the apron, came back up on the track, got in the side of it. Those two are battling really hard. And I think the Cowboy on the side there, Ross is he's got something to yell about now.
All right, so these guys took the designation. So now we're going to see some drivers making their way down pit road for the first time out here tonight. Points are recorded. Dustin Ping, Stephen Burnett, Gary Bowman picked up some points on Corey Sherman. Andrew Caldwell picked up some points, some stage points. But yeah, I believe the only beneficiary of this caution here is going to be Stephen Burnett as he gains 2 points on Corey Sherman.
It does. Folks, been a good one here tonight so far. Martinsville style. Step away for a quick second, take a commercial break. We'll be right back in a few.
There's an immeasurable bond that forms when you join the service. You'll do anything to protect and defend those at your side, and pushing the limits of your well-being is all just part of the job. But when this shared experience ends, it's easy to carry that mission-first mindset with you and neglect your own health and mental fitness. Team Red, White, and Blue understands these challenges and knows that together we can show veterans that their best days are ahead by providing opportunities to build healthier lifestyles right where they live and work. Through races, service projects, workouts, and a cutting-edge mobile app, our members develop a sense of camaraderie and mutual support. With a growing force of over 200,000 strong, we invite all veterans, families, and non-military supporters to start putting their well-being first. Team Red.
All right, we're back here, folks. Get set to go back green here tonight. Been a good one. Stage 1 in the books here. And old Cody Heinzman, he wins that one here. So let's see what happens. Everybody's got the pit stop. You know, kind of, I mean, I guess we could say maybe a little rocky start here for the start as the lights are back on the pace car. They were off there for a second.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit of an extended caution out here. Perhaps somebody not in the right running order. But that gives these guys another lap here. Joe, our next stage, while we're under caution here, ends at the conclusion of lap number 120, so another 60 laps away.
That kind of tells us, and then from there we go, what's that?
No, I was just going to say, checking out into the YouTube chat box while the lights are off on the pace car. Say hello to my mom out there. I know she enjoys watching each week. See Paul out there, 42 racing Red Sleighs, gaming 34. That's a good number.
Yeah,
Coming to check us out here.
Yeah, your mom, boy, she's one of the one active out there. She's always rooting for you every week. And, yeah, you know, I know you're all talking about. But going back green here, we got Heinzman, Mitchell and company up front. Green flag about to fly. Heinzman gets that jump out front with Mitchell there along with it. You got Ping. Ping's going to drive it down inside. He said, you know, not this time. I want to take that spot away. I got to get that second place here. You two guys, I got to split y'all up, and I think that's a smart thing to do. Get these guys split up front, because if they stay nose to tail, they're going to control this race for the most part.
Yeah, and more than just that, Joe, right? Dustin is a, air quotes, rookie within the league. He's looking for his first win at Cyberr Thunder, as we got a caution over the speedway.
Tanner Marr was up front earlier on, but he, like you said, you talked about it, the danger of going back to the back here. See what he's in. He's in at 04, and he slides a little bit. Oh, he just loses it. Wow, just lost it. Nothing he can do. Got up on the marbles a little bit. Got that thing sideways. Easy to do at this track, but okay. Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because I wasn't sure which was rookies and rookies. And folks, I apologize. Like I say, I came in about halfway through the season, so I'm trying to play catch up here on a lot of stuff here on the league. But you know, that's phenomenal then, to be a rookie and already right there on the cups of making it to maybe being a champion.
Yeah, I mean, Dustin's come out. Dustin has had an incredible start to his season out here. Dustin, 20 races down, and he's come away with 4 top 3s, 7 top 5s, and 13 top 10s. So, good opening season here for the 81.
What's up, Mike? I didn't cause that. Oh, you didn't cause that one? Well, you're out in the chat. We got you. Not your fault, huh? I got you. Okay. Good to see many guys out there, but unfortunate night on this one. But yeah, I mean, that's awesome. Hey, come out here your first season to have this kind of run, have this kind of performance, and to drive around guys. I mean, you know, we already know. I don't want to take anything away from any of the other drivers out here, you know, week in and week out. But we already know, you know, Burnett, Heinzman, you know, cream of the crop. You know, they come to the front. You see them at the front a lot. They've won a lot, dominated seasons. Obviously punched their ticket into the Final Four. But for a guy to come out here in his first season and to do what Ping has done, and like I say, just right here on the edge of being able to battle for a championship. He's right there, and if everything keeps going the way he wants tonight, he's definitely going to, you know, punch his ticket in to that Final Four. You know, again, you know, one of those other drivers wins and, you know, could knock him out, but we'll just have to see as the race goes on.
Lights are out. I see Mike Stuyvesant taking an early exit out of the Martinsville race out here tonight. Checking into the YouTube chat box. How you doing, Mike? Sorry your race didn't turn out the way you were hoping for, but lights are out. Dustin Ping now in second place here. Cody Heinzman still the control car. Dustin, I think, made a great move on the previous restart. Let's see what he can do on this one.
Yeah, unfortunately, starting on that outside groove, and you're going to see Mitchell's going to be able to just take the advantage on the inside as he drives it in there low. Corey's another one right there with it, too. So they're kind of closing off that inside lane. You can see now it might be a freight train. Cody actually, or excuse me, Ping might actually lose several spots here. You got the 5 up there on top with Burnett. Burnett, I'm going to say, he's got an opening. If I was him, I'd scoot on down that inside. And well,
scoot on down he does. He's going to take a look down onto the inside of the 81 machine as Dustin continues to lose spots off that restart. Restarted second, currently sitting, and I believe we're going to be looking at about 6th place right now for the 81 as he's finally able to jump in line in front of the 46 at Caldwell.
Yeah, unfortunately lost a lot of spots from second all the way back to 5th. Still got time to get it back up, but that's just typical Martinsville on the restart. You get you get blocked up on that outside lane, nothing you can do. Cody Heinzman, man out front, Greg Mitchell there. Sherman, he's trying to see what he can do there in third. Burnett, Ping, they all under a blanket along with Caldwell, Bowman, Milwayne. You got some McKenzie and John Milwayne, and then you got Kyle Wellman, and it rounds out the top 10. So from about second on back, well, actually third on back, excuse me, they're about under a blanket. We'll have to see, kind of get some green flag run here, Tom, and kind of split this field up a little bit.
Yep, and Stephen Burnett putting the heat on the back bumper of the number 3, Corey Sherman, giving him the back bumper massage, as we call it here. Stephen Burnett gives him a little bit of heat heading down the backstretch into turn number 3. Stephen looking to take third place away, but Dustin not letting him make a mistake. Dustin letting him know, hey, I'm right here. You make a move, I'm going to follow you.
That's the thing. You got to look. What does Burnett do? And you see a little slip there from Sherman, and that's going to leave the inside door open for him. Burnett's going to say, I'm going to scoot right on by. He goes down the inside, and it's going to bring Ping with him, too. That's a battle.
Yellow flag out over the speedway. Now the question is, well, there's 2 questions. 1, who's the caution for? And 2, did Steven get that spot before the yellow flag was displayed?
Check it out here. Looks like Larry Bell and Ethan Milwayne back in the back. Little contact from Milwayne, and Bell pays the price into the wall. Boom. Yeah, just typical kind of short track racing right there. Right now, it's showing Sherman back in third and Ping back. We'll have to see how the order maybe shuffles out here. But for the moment, it's showing Sherman staying in third, so maybe Ping didn't get by him in time.
And Joe, I think you and I have both been in that situation, right? As I got a train going by my house. It's so frustrating. You work on somebody for so long, and then you're making the pass, and then you see that yellow flag come out, and you're like, I got to start over.
Absolutely. It's set to go back green. It's all Heinzman out front with Mitchell, and you got Sherman right there in third. So, been a good race here so far, and tonight here at Martinsville.
Yeah, 75 laps down. Handful of cautions over the speedway out here, but Joe, I mean, 31 cars out here. We've been 22 out of our 23 races, so just a testament to these drivers continuing to come out week in and week out. And I mean, it's so difficult to continue to pull 30 plus drivers 22 races into your season when you're in the second to final race of the season. So, you know, having Martinsville as the cutoff race, that'll do that.
Absolutely. You know, and I said that before. I mean, that is awesome. I mean, I give my hats off to you right there for what you've done. Because, you know, I've seen them many a times. You know, some of these guys get out here, well, what am I out here racing for? I'm back here in, you know, 20-some position. Don't have a shot to get for a championship. I don't have a shot to even probably win the race. You know, but yet, you come out here to have fun. Maybe see what you've got for next season. You know, there's always that next season. You know, say, okay, look, you know, this season was a bad one for me. I'm going to get out here and see, improve, see what I can do, see what these top fast guys are doing. Maybe I can, you know, bounce back next season. So, good, like I said, to see 31 machines out here tonight. You know, unfortunately, got a couple of them still on pit road out of it. Pace car takes a hard left turn off on pit road. Heinzman and company up front. Mitchell's right there with them. You got Sherman and company. Here to come out of 4. We're getting set to go green.
Back green we go once again out here. Cody Heinzman once again the control car as they head down the front stretch here, the short half-mile paperclip. Cody Heinzman, now Corey Sherman, he's going to say, hey, take a look at me in that number 3 car. I'm going to take second place away from Greg Mitchell at number 55. Put Corey Sherman into second place.
Oh, and Ping makes the move. I think he had to do that dive in there because if not, Mitchell would have closed the door on him and got a big wreck in the back. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that looks like the 04 involved and possibly the 24.
It's showing Kyle Wellman and John Milwane, and Wellman got the apron again. We've seen that a couple times tonight. Got up into the 42, and then from there just kind of closed up the track, nowhere to go. 91 gets heavy on the binders. Yeah, just we've seen that a couple times tonight here, Tom. Guys getting on that apron, upsetting the truck, bouncing it up there and getting to the truck on the outside. Maybe just something, maybe some of the drivers need to, calm down a little bit. It's more of a situational awareness type of deal. Nothing that any, race control or anything could do other than say, hey, guys, calm down, watch what you're doing. The driver pretty much has to watch what they're doing. Not to say that they're bad drivers out there, folks. I want to come up and say, man, Joe, what's wrong with you? Hey, it's doing good, man. I appreciate Tom being up here in the booth with me. He said tonight he's been having some computer issues. Didn't want to get out here and mess up a race. Hey, it's commendable. I like that on Tom's end. And I've said before, doing a great job here with the league. It has been a great season, with the drivers. Great fields out here. Going to be a good one. Going to crown some champs out here tonight. Let me hear your favorite driver. Who you rooting for out there? Kathy, I know you're not rooting for your favorite driver tonight, but he's up here and root for him.
Well, Joe, I was telling you before, my mom was giving me a hard time. She kept saying, you can't finish in the top 3, so, and just send Joe a message and be like, hey, can I pop in here? So that's what we did.
Heck yeah, man. I'll tell you what, it's been a good one, too. I mean, and that's nothing wrong with that. I go back to that, too. You're saying that, you can't, but next season, it's always that next season. And you never know what can happen on that next season. Tom might be sitting saying, man, you know what? I had a dismal season. I can't get out of the top 15 or I can't get in the top 15, can't get top 10. Man, next season, flip a switch and next thing you know, you're in the top 10 all the time. You just never know what's going to happen on that next season. Lights off on a pace car.
Once again, working lap number 82 of 200 down here, pace car down and away. And we're getting set to go once again here. Dustin, it'll be interesting to see what Dustin does down here. Does Dustin take the liberties of trying to take second place away, as we've seen on the previous couple of restarts here?
Yep.
Green flag back
the tires. Yeah, sorry about that. Sherman spun the tires on that start, and that actually opened the door up for Ping on that restart. Heinzman obviously gets control of the field and goes, and Mitchell didn't get the start he wanted. He falls back. He's got trouble there with Burnett, Caldwell, but yeah, Dustin Ping takes over the second place spot. You got a big battle going on around about sixth place spot. And your mom, I like that comment out there. That's funny. Yeah, what's that?
I was going to say, what I find interesting out here, Joe, is that Greg led the opening handful of laps out here, lost the lead as he gets into the back of the number 3. A little bit in turn 3, everybody gets away clean and green. But Greg lost the lead, lost some track position, and is now running in that 5th position with some heat from the Andrew Caldwell machine of the 46 right behind him.
Yeah, it just doesn't look like he's had that great of a restart this time. Truck looks a little bit upset. Maybe, right, we go back to that, being patient, because he ran it into that turn right there, awful deep. Might be one of them where, okay, I need to bounce back. Don't get in panic mode. I still got a lot of time. Haven't really lost that much positions and whatnot. I'm still good. So don't need to overdrive the truck, overdrive the turns. Look good going into it right there. So far, handling it really well out there in 5th place spot. A little further, we got a couple trucks around in the back. Chris Lane, a little bit of caution out front of fortunate. So we got Chris Lane, Gary Wright, looks like, and Stephen Haverick. What's that, right? Musket. Music? Is it Music?
We call him the music man around here. Stephen Music goes around, yeah.
Well, unfortunate there, Chris Lane. Just looks like he got bumped in the back a little bit, spun the truck around. Typical Martinsville short track in here. And, you know, I got to bring this up front because these cautions I do not think is helping Dustin out in any way. Not really helping out a lot of each other because it almost looks like it's a merry-go-round. Because now Dustin's going to be, again, back on that outside. Sherman's going to be back on the inside. And how we've been seeing these restarts is whoever's got that inside gets the advantage of getting that second place spot. I mean, obviously Cody's can control the field. He can go as the leader. But it's just been a merry-go-round up front. And it's got to be frustrating as a driver, like, say, like Ping. Like, man, I fought to get up to second. Now I got to start on the outside. Hopefully I get a good start and am able to get in front of Sherman. But if I don't, I'm going to be marred right beside it. And I could end up back in 5th place again.
Well, and I'm going to throw a little bit of what about this into our conversation here, Joe. Dustin Ping, Corey Sherman, they work very closely together on track. They are also the two drivers that are 3rd and 4th in the points to advance right now. So maybe what about this on the restart? Dustin and Corey to say, hey, you know what, I'm going to play nice. I'm going to let you fall in line here, because worst case scenario for them is they get Andrew Caldwell, Gary Bowman, Stephen Burnett all within the top 10 into victory lane out here tonight. And then that could really play a shakeup into the points heading into Phoenix.
Yeah, you know what, and that's a good point to bring up too, because as of right now, Sherman and Ping both are in by points. If they can keep Bowman and them behind them, like what you just said, yeah. So yeah, that is a good point, and that's something, because you know right now Sherman's going to control that inside lane. He can hold up a little bit. Teamwork. I mean, is it right? You know, those morally or whatnot, but it's still teamwork. And like you said, let him maybe get back down in a spot, because at the end of the day, it is vying for that championship. Now, obviously, next week in the last race, that wouldn't play out. But tonight, that is a good point. I didn't really think about that. It's lights off on the pace car, going back green.
Lights off the top, the iRacing.com pace car is we're going to go green once again out here. Cody Heinzman, again, the control car. Dustin Ping to his outside, Corey Sherman in 3rd, Stephen Burnett in 4th, and Greg Mitchell rounds out your top 5 as we go green on lap number 92.
Yep. Sherman, the one thing he has to watch out for, though, if they're going to do that, and maybe they were thinking about it a little bit, now would be the opportune time for him to just kind of say, okay, let me just drag that brake just ever so slightly. Go ahead, Ping, get it. But looks like they are going to battle each other out here.
You know what I said about 90 seconds ago, Joe, about, hey, what about this? I don't think that's actually happening. As they were Corey Sherman giving Dustin heat. The message going down into turn number 1 is Corey Sherman muscles the 81 up out of the way, and here comes Stephen Burnett to take 3rd place away from the 81.
Yeah, let me throw this out here to you too, Tom, you know, because that was a good point you brought up there. But would you rather have Dustin Ping, or if you were Sherman, or go, I'd rather have Burnett in the Final Four with me? And maybe he's thinking about, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. That's when you're like, man, you know what? I mean, it's almost like, if I can eliminate my competition, I'm going to eliminate them if I can. So, that's kind of what it looks like out here. But all in all, we'll have to see how this race plays out. You got to love it, man. You got all kinds of scenarios going on. Nonetheless, Heinzman out front. Sherman's there in 2nd. You have Burnett sitting at 3rd. We got a couple cars around, trucks back around in the back. Oh, Gary Wright doesn't get it spun around real quick. No, it didn't trigger the caution. Flagman must have fell asleep on that one. Back and watch to see what happened to him at least here. He was... Yeah, I noticed that on iRacing sometimes too, man. The trigger for the caution here is like, I don't know. He goes all the way around, gets bumped, sits there for a second, spins it around, stops, gets it going. That maybe the flagman wouldn't got one of them Martinsville hot dogs.
I've been in a couple of those Martinsville hot dogs lines, and you'll be there for a few minutes. Let's just say it that way. I've been there and stood in that line, but a battle heating up now for 2nd place as Gary Wright continues to plummet through the field after his most recent spin. 2nd place battle heating up. Here comes Stephen Burnett. Stephen Burnett, he says, I see one way to Phoenix, and that is through a win out here tonight in Martinsville as he takes a look on the outside of Corey Sherman. Not going to be able to do it in turn 3 and 4. What about him 1 and 2?
Yeah, he almost left that door open there for Dustin Ping to go to running right through it. He drove it in really hard, and right there almost got in the back end of Sherman. That's one thing he doesn't want to try to do is get in the back end. But again, it's a short track racing. But you can see Burnett really trying to do everything he can. It looks like he's got a better off the turnstile truck than what Sherman is. Like Sherman's kind of struggling a little bit trying to get off the turns here. Through middle off is what it's looking like.
I tell you what, Dustin Ping right on the back of that number 5 machine, Greg Mitchell on the back of that number 81 machine. So you could throw a blanket over the next 2nd through 7th place, 8th place, whatever that is there. These guys are all right up on each other. I think if Corey gets booted out of the way, which he might very well get booted out of the way here in the next lap or two, that's going to open up the door for a whole lot of cars to come through.
What are you seeing right here, too? Well, I'm seeing it looks like he is struggling really hard in that middle off position because you can see that's where Burnett is getting that run up on him. Yeah, and the problem is it's so tough to pass here. Is yellow flags out. Gary Wright again. Gary's not having the 91s. That 91 machine. Let's see if we can get an idea of maybe what happened to him here. And that blue and orange. And, Amanda tried to get slowed up, just got the back, and amazing that was a caution, but before it was. See, maybe the flag man got back in time on that one.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Joe, really impressive. I know Amanda just called that yellow flag out there, but really impressive couple of runs by the 88 machine.
Yes. Yeah.
She had gone probably 9 or 10 races without causing a yellow, and not to get too into it right now, but she did have a guaranteed starting spot into the Cyberr 500 in a couple of weeks. That claim is going to take that starting spot away from her, but yeah, unfortunate for the 88 right now. She's going to be going to the tail end of the field for this next restart.
Yeah, and, you talk about it too, man. Definitely check that out in another couple of weeks. Got Cyberr 500, obviously the real Daytona 500 coming up. We had the 24 hours of Daytona that was here in the past, and I don't really watch it that much. Kind of unless they keep up highlights of it. I'm kind of happy that the Mustangs won. We talked about that earlier.
They did.
Brent. They did. The Mustangs won their group. Yep.
It was actually kind of going off topic here. It was actually kind of a pretty good race. I subscribed to Peacock for a day and then canceled it to watch it. But yeah, good showing by the Fords out there.
Yeah, no doubt, man. That's a good race, man, all in all throughout that one, like you say. So kicking off the race season here is we're about to, we're kicking off one race season, like Tom mentioned at the top there. We'll be ending this one here coming next week, crowning a champion here in the Cyberr Thunder Tuesday League. But another couple weeks, we'll be kicking it back up for another great season for you too. For these guys, man, to a lot of maybe new drivers come in here to see if they can't get that championship as lights are pace car. Heinzman's out front. Sherman's there with it. Burnett got Ping there in fourth. And I mentioned before. Now's the opportunity for Burnett because he's going to get that advantage of being on the inside. And he was chewing up the back end of Sherman. I think Sherman was having a little bit of an issue with that truck. I know you drive a lot. The biggest thing with Martinsville is it's so easy to get tight here. You would think it'd get really, really loose. You can if you overdrive the turn, but it's really, really easy to get tight here.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing here, Joseph? Cody Heinzman, the control car, electing to take the outside of the restart for the first time out here tonight. Maybe a little bit of, hey, you wash my hand, I'll wash yours.
Well, you know why? Because guess where that puts Ping? I'm just throwing the devil's advocate out here as we go back green. Heinzman out front.
Big wiggle from the 81 on the restart.
Wow. Yeah. And that right there might have been a crucial move from Heinzman. I go back to that. Who would you rather see fighting for a championship? They know Ping is very, very fast. And they know, man, right now that Sherman is a very fast. But, if they could they'd love to see it. If we could maybe eliminate one of these guys. I'm not saying that's what's going through their head, but we love throwing it out there. You as a driver, you got to be, a little bit of psyche involved. You got to be fast behind the wheel, but sometimes you got to have that psychological game warfare going on the track too. And I think we're seeing it, and it's playing out huge. But you got Sherman up in second, Burnett right there in third, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, the next stage ends in just over 10 laps. Lap number 120. That's going to be the end of the next stage. Stephen Burnett right now in a position to get some stage points here. Andrew Caldwell also in a position to get some stage points. Gary Bowman also up in the top 10. Right now they're looking for Corey Sherman and Dustin Ping, who's in front of both of them. But as the yellow flag comes out, we're going to be going back green here before the end of the stage.
John Milwane, unfortunately, the one in the back here, getting involved is in that 22 machine there, folks, in the Mobile 1. And you see the awesome Joker. Oh, he just lost it coming out of the turn. Oh, maybe the Joker got the back of him there a little bit, but no, he just lost it. And that's kind of a product of Martinsville that you will see a lot of. Basically, that's just coming out of the turn, not letting the truck get kind of straight. And Greg Mitchell decided he's coming on pit road. Wow.
Yep, Greg Mitchell coming down pit road 9 laps early at the end of the stage. I think that puts Greg in a mindset of, hey, all these guys are going to pit here in about 9 laps. I'm going to take advantage. I'm going to stay out and take some track position here.
Hey, Will, how will this play out? Because if he stays out during the stage, I mean, will it be an advantage to him, or will those tires just fall off?
You got to be talking right. We're going to be going green on lap number 114, maybe lap 115, depending on how iRacing plays this out, right? So he's only going to have 2, maybe 3 laps on his tires before the restart here.
I got you. All right, here we go. And again, we go back to, Mitchell. Yeah, he's already locked himself into the Final Four. Obviously wants to win this race, wants to have a good, finish, good showing here tonight. But really, not a lot to lose as far as, trying to go for that championship. Heinzman's going to be out front. What I'm interested to see is, can Corey or, Burnett needs a win to pretty much seal his deal into this thing here tonight, especially where everybody else is running. But Dustin Ping and Sherman both, right now, points-wise, probably could punch themselves in unless Burnett or Bowman gets up here and spoils the show.
That's the big what if Stephen Burnett, who's currently running in third, if Gary Bowman is able to get up there and get a win, if Andrew Caldwell is able to get up there and win. Remember Chris Harefield, we talked about him 30 laps ago. Chris Harefield back up inside the top 10. Any one of those 3 drivers, that puts a big shakeup into the Final Four as we head into Phoenix, and Cody Heinzman once again takes the outside lane here.
He does, and I think this is a smart thing, and I think I see what he's doing. He is putting Dustin Ping to that outside, because if not, I think that might have put Dustin on the inside. It would have, yeah. It might have put him right on his back door. Heinzman's pace car drops off on pit road, getting set to go back green. Heinzman and company up front. You got Sherman on the outside. Here we go. It's been a good one here. Martinsville only going to get maybe a lap or 2 in here, and then we're going to go for the stage. Is Heinzman going to get 2 for 2 here tonight?
Trying to go for a sweep on the stages is the number 28 machine, that Toyota Tundra, out front right now as they race for second place. Corey Sherman under pressure from the 5 of Stephen Burnett. Dustin Ping trying to hold his own up on the outside line. He's able to for a little bit, but Dustin Ping still in third place as they race out of turn number 4 side by side. Stephen Burnett still says, hey, I'm going to show my nose down there and try to make my way up into third place.
Absolutely. You see Heinzman there, but Burnett's fighting for everything he can. And Ping, I thought he almost had it. But, man, the door closed up on him as Burnett. He was able to shove it in. Ping still on the outside. These 2 guys are going at each other. Definitely every little point helps right now. As you can see back there, Andrew Caldwell, he's back he's up 11 spots in 5th place, but Ping's able to drop back in the 4th. As Burnett's going to hang on to 3rd. Still out front. It's all Heinzman, though. But these 3 guys, man, they're on top of each other.
While all this is happening, Greg Mitchell just ran his slowest lap of the race, which means he is saving tires. That is what that tells me. Not to play any spoilers out here. Greg Mitchell just ran his slowest lap of the race, back in 20th place, but we got a caution coming in about 2 laps here. It's Burnett sideways out of turn number 4.
Yeah.
He's able to hang on to it. He's going to lose a couple of spots under green, though.
I got 2 things on this one real quick. I got to give my hats off to Burnett, because I've seen the last several laps right before that first caution came out. He was right there on the back end of Sherman, and it looks like he was way faster, but he refused to get into the back end of Sherman and maybe do that bump and run. And right there, I think might have cost him a little bit. He had to get heavy on the binders and it took that truck bed sideways a little bit, and it cost him a lot of spots back into 6th place. So, yeah, we'll have to see if he can bounce back right now up front, because I've been watching Sherman. He's struggling coming out through that middle off. It kind of looks like that truck might be getting a little bit tight, and he's just not able to get that truck off the turns as fast as most of these other guys. As there's our stage caution, Heinzman going to take it here tonight.
And that's got to be such a blow to Stephen Burnett and Chris Harefield, right? I mean, Chris, what an incredible run that Chris Harefield has had all the way back up to, I'm showing him in 6th, 5th?
Yeah, it's on 5th right now.
I mean, after that spin, I mean, you and I both said.
Yeah, Burnett's back in 6th. My bad.
Yeah, Harefield all the way back up into the top 5 and into contention for a win in the next 80 laps out here. As we got all the leaders, almost everybody out here on pit road.
Just to give you an idea, I'm going to flash up our for you, just let the viewers out there see what we're talking about when it comes to points. And you can see right there where the cutoff line is. Cutoff line being where Bowman, Ping, Sherman, as of right now, points-wise, they would punch their ticket to that Final Four and race for the championship at Phoenix, along with Cody Heinzman and Greg Mitchell, who already got their ticket for it. But Bowman outside looking in, Andrew Caldwell outside looking in, Harefield and Burnett pretty much are going to need a win. Caldwell and Bowman, I'm going to say they probably need a win just by looking at that points, but if Sherman and Ping was to get into trouble and finish this thing, let's say way back in 20-some, then yeah, they might could get in with points. It would be close.
Yeah, I'm just going to pull a number out of the air here. With Corey and Dustin both earning stage points out here tonight, Gary, Andrew, Chris, and Steven finishing behind them. I want to say if Corey and Dustin finish on the upper half of the top 15, they're going to be locked in. Now, the big question marks of that, Joe, is if Gary, Andrew, Chris, or Steven wind up winning the race, that could really be the big kicker out here. But another change of positions out here underneath this caution. As expected, Greg Mitchell in the 55. He takes the lead underneath that yellow flag sequence.
Not yet. Because you got Ed Jurgen.
That is true.
Ed pitted on the same time that Greg did. Andy Cork actually pitted at lap 104. Tanner Marr pitted at lap 111 along with Greg Mitchell. So the top 4 all pitting about the same time. But now the question is, let's see, is those tires, I mean, you're talking about almost 5 laps. Let's say 5 green flag laps at least, somewhere give or take.
Oh, that ain't nothing.
It ain't nothing? Okay. Well, let's see.
It ain't nothing up here in the booth. If I was driving, maybe it'd be a different story. But yeah, I stand corrected. Ed Jurgen, Andy Cork, they're going to make up the front row out here. Ed Jurgen going to be the control car taking the inside line for this next restart here. What does the 92 got for this next restart?
Going to get that jump out front along with them. See on the inside, Marr's going to take it. I mean, Andy is on the oldest set of tires up here. He put it at lap 104, but he's unfortunately got caught on the outside. You keep Cody Heinzman already trying to make waves, and they're going to get shook up back here. But here goes Dustin Ping and company.
Big look down into turn number 3 for a lot of drivers. Race for the lead, race for 7th, race for 10th, race everywhere on the track as you look. Is there 3 wide on the front stretch?
Yes,
racer,
it
I don't
is.
know where we
around
looking.
about 10th place spot. You got McKenzie Milwayne, Caldwell company. There were 3 wide on truck around.
Big wreck in
76.
the middle of the back of the field. Rick Thompson goes around in the 76 machine.
Oh,
Andy,
91 involved.
I want to say that's Andy Cork goes around as well.
And 91 was involved with it. Go back there and watch it one more time. You saw him back there, and that's basically just old tires versus new tires, and the field kind of got stacked up. The 76 and the green machine right there, they were kind of battling a little bit. Yeah, they were 3 wide right there in front of them. I think these guys were just trying to be a little patient. Oh, yeah, they were 3 wide right in front of the 76 machine. Then it went 3 wide again, and it just doesn't work, and you see right there what happened.
Oh, Joe, your bracket is still
bad.
showing up there, but we got that removed here.
That's why. My bad, folks. We'll watch it one more time.
You know, we give a whole lot of credit out to Mike Stiverson. Mike calls out anytime we can't see out here.
Hey, no doubt. I appreciate that, man. Hey, look, they keep me on my heels up here, on my toes a lot of times. Yeah, we'll let you see the wreck one more time. Everybody loves watching. You can see him 3 wide right there in the front, and then it goes 3 wide again, and it just doesn't work coming out of the turns here. Yeah, you can maybe do it a little bit on the straightaway, but in the turns, and you can just see just a big one. Going to collect, looks like the 09 got involved in it. The 91 kind of slid right there, but unfortunately Rick Thompson taking the blunt end. You see the 41 machine too involved too.
The 41 Andy Cork.
Andy Cork involved. So yeah, well, just when the track man closes up, nothing you can do. But we talked about it earlier. Those new tires versus old tires up front. Heinzman and Ping were able to get through the field and get through that, but Tanner Marr was able to get out front and stay out front. So we'll see if he's able to hold off these guys, these way older tires. Now the question is when do we come up with pit stop? I appreciate it.
Oh,
by the way,
we're done pitting.
Oh, we are. No more pit stops. So nobody. So we can go the rest of the way.
I've got 95 laps on fuel.
Okay.
That's what I heard from a couple of drivers. Now, obviously, you just saw what a difference in tires make for the lead.
It does,
but
yeah.
If I'm not sitting up here hanging out with you tonight, I'm done pitting. I'm just gonna ride out here up front.
Yeah. And I guess it also depends on when the caution might. If another caution flies, when it flies, and et cetera, something like that too. I mean, if this thing goes green the rest of the way, I'm with you. You got to stay out there. If a caution flies, depending on where it is, talk about that as it goes. Go back green. Marr's going to get the jump out front, and he does. Heinzman's right there with him. Now Heinzman's going to have to deal with Ping. And this might be the opportunity for Dustin Ping here to get out front, but he's got to get around Cody. I think this might be one of the best opportunities he's got. Keep Cody on the outside, make him burn those tires up, and then maybe tackle Marr up there.
Yep, and Dustin Ping right now underneath the number 28 Toyota Tundra, and he's almost clear of the 28 machine, not able to put his quarter panel clear, but he's going to set his sights on the 04 Tanner Marr. Tanner Marr also looking for his first win here in Cyberr Thunder Racing League on the Tuesday Night Thunder. Here goes Cody. Contact in the back end. Jurgen in the wall. Chris Harefield goes around for the second time out here tonight, Joe.
Hate that. I think maybe that was just kind of maybe a bunch up front. Let's see what happened. As you saw up front, Cody, that truck just got tight, pushed up, got into the wall. You see Harefield right now. He's on that outside as we're watching the replay here. And a little contact, nothing wrong, trading a little bit of paint. See Bowman throw it down on the inside there. 92's on the outside, all 3 wide again. And looks like the 92 just got loose. Nothing they can do. Harefield was just a product of wrong place, wrong time. Ouch. Well, I don't think Tanner's going to take the outside lane.
I have a hard time believing that he will.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Cody do it a couple times. So, with that said, we'll put Ping on the outside. We put Mitchell on the inside. So that means Ping's now going, you got to be kidding me. Yeah, Mike, unfortunately, he got in a wreck earlier on there. That's you.
Yep, I just sent you a message.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Gotcha. Well, I mean, right now it's been an exciting race. Folks, I'm going to tell you what, it's been a thriller, a typical Martinsville-style race. I know, coming from maybe the owners and the admins and so, they're probably like, oh, it's disappointing, a lot of cautions. Hey, this is a typical style short track race. We've seen some great action, great up front here, pit strategies. We're not done either. It's interesting. We're watching a lot on who's going to get that Final Four here tonight. Dustin Ping, if he stays where he's at right now, he's in the Final Four. Does he need to win? No. A win guarantees him that spot, and it will definitely make you feel a lot better. So, a couple things to think about on his end. One, does not want to get into trouble because a wreck would definitely be crucial and crushing. But, he's got a big enough lead that it had to be a pretty major wreck on his end to not be able to bounce back. His lights off on the pace car. Then you got Mitchell back there. He's already punched his ticket in. Cody Heinzman punched his ticket in. But they've been awful strong up front. You got Burnett, who needs to win to get into it. And then you got Bowman back there sitting around in 9th place spot. We saw Harefield. Unfortunately, he got caught up in a couple messes. He's back in 19th, though. Still got a shot to get back up here. Let's see what happens. Pace car's in. Barr and company up front. Tanner's going to try. Hopefully don't spin those tires on the start. Pace car's in. Going back green Martinsville. Oh, he gets a good jump. And, man, that's going to set Greg Mitchell up beautiful to the inside. And look at Heinzman. Heinzman knows the ticket. Oh, and that's 3 wide back there.
3 wide back there in turns 1 and 2 as Cody Heinzman able to slip away out of that green. That was a little bit closer than I would have liked if I was in that 28 machine, Joe. I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Dustin Ping able to get up the second. There for a moment, he actually was marred on that outside with Greg Mitchell, but Greg Mitchell gave it up. Then Cody's able to fire back to the outside there, Mitchell. And then you got back behind him, Sherman. You got a battle going on with Burnett. And that's so Burnett and Mackenzie Milwayne. They're going at each other, but does Dustin got enough? He's got to get up there. You know, I mentioned it before. On points right now, he's in. I know a win makes you feel more comfortable up front, but as of right now, yes, and caution out. Very right.
Yellow flag out once again over the speedway here.
Oh, Chris Harefield, more trouble for him tonight. Just not the night he wants. He's in pit road, by the way. But watch here from Garrett. What's that?
I tell you what.
Actually, Harefield is spun.
Yeah, if I'm Chris Harefield, I've had a rough night here on a night that I didn't want to have. But
yeah,
I mean,
he just lost it.
Yeah, through adversity. I mean, Chris has been able to come back every single time. But on pit road now for the 18 machine, we'll see if he's able to get back out there.
Yeah, just a night he's not won, man. Unfortunately, taking him out of been, trying to race for a championship next week. Just kind of regroup, get your mind right. Think about next week here. Maybe if you can get back out, finish out the race. But it's been a night he wants to forget about. As Mars out front did an outstanding job, so that takes me to the question of track position over tire wear. I talk about that a lot. Excuse me. I talk about that a lot on some of the tracks, mostly the 1.5 mile tracks, auto club style tracks, momentum based style tracks. Not so much on short tracks, but this place so hard to pass. And with Mar being able to control the restarts here, it actually starting to look like that track position might be very, very king over a newer set of tires.
Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree. I mean, we saw Andy Cork go around. We saw Ed Jurgen go around on the older set of tires, right? But, and I say this as gently as I possibly can, but they just kind of gained some track position on the pit stops, which is all well in strategy. I think they just had some very hungry guys behind them trying to push them out of the way. And, unfortunately they caught the short end of the stick. But yeah, absolutely track position. Very important out here tonight on this half mile.
You talk about hard chargers, obviously Tanner Mars up 14 spots, leading it right now. But you got Steven, the music man out there. He's sitting back in 13th spot, up 13 spots. And Brian Dorsey behind him up 11. You got Gary Wright up 13th himself, back in 18th. So got some heavy movers here tonight. We'll see what Tanner can do here on a restart. He's had some pretty good ones. Dustin Ping still, he was able to get that advantage to get to second place. Can he do it again? He's hoping maybe Heinzman and Mitchell battle. Pace car's in. We're going back green.
Back green once again. The iRacing pace car down and away. Tanner Marr leads him to the green flag to begin lap number 146, and away the 04 machine goes. And a good start by Cody Heinzman in the 28 machine. Corey Sherman right on the back of that 28 machine as he takes a look now for third underneath Dustin Ping. Name we haven't mentioned a whole lot out here tonight, Mackenzie Milwayne, currently up to 7th or so
in
the 21
right
machine.
There for the 6th place spot, so you're right. He's right there with Burnett on the outside, so being kind of quiet. He can sneak up here, and I love it. We've been talking a lot of the playoff drivers all night long. But don't count out some of these other drivers. They want to win too, and that's one thing I like seeing. As you can see, this battle really heating up here with Ping and Sherman. But what I really like seeing too, Tom, is guys going, okay, yeah, I understand guys up here racing for a championship, but I'm not going to give up a chance. We got a big one in the back. Burnett.
We got Stephen Burnett involved.
Andrew
Amanda Cork involved, Chris Legge involved, Gary Wright maybe involved as well. Maybe Matthew Semple.
Looked like he might have gotten a back in, and it was basically just a. From that point on, it basically was a pile-up. It was like Amanda just got slowed down a little bit there. Fortunately, didn't get anything. Most of it came on Burnett's part, and man, that is a blow to a chance to maybe get excuse me, the Final Four here tonight on that one. So. And I was just going back real quick on what I was saying is, yeah, you've got your top guys, all playoff drivers. The one thing I don't want to see is drivers up there going, okay, I know you're racing for a championship. I know you're doing this. Let me just get out the way. Now, if I'm fast enough, I'm going to race you. And I'm going to make it hard for you. I'm not going to wreck you and all that, but I'm going to be like, look, if I'm fast enough to stay up there, let's race. And I like to see that from other drivers. Don't give up just because you're not racing for the championship.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe in seasons past, Joe, you might have seen that with a little bit smaller fields, but we still, with 2 races to go tonight and next week, we still had 31 drivers out there tonight. Yes. And there's 31 drivers looking to win. There's about 25 of them, 24 of them looking to get their first win of the season. And as of now, there's still 22 cars running, 23rd in place, 23rd on back, currently out of the race. But a lot of drivers looking to make their mark going into Phoenix, saying, hey, I'm going to be a contender. I deserve to be here. And then there's other people saying I deserve to be there.
Yeah, and and I go back to like Cody probably right now sitting there going, man, look, this guy's out here on old tires. What in the world's he doing in front of me? Hey, look, I'm faster than him. Look, Mar has been able to hold him off and done a fantastic job. And he's not been dangerous. Now, after doing some wild blocking all over the place, weaving or anything like that, he's actually kept the truck, straight and been able to race hard and be out front where he is. And that's what I'm talking about. If you're able to do that, it's up to Heinzman and then those guys back in the back there to find a way to get around him. And so we're going to see if they're able to. And we talked about earlier, pit stops. Well, when the caution flies, you got from 13th on back, it looks like everybody did a pit stop and took 4 tires. Some of them maybe took 2 tires, so we'll have to see on this one if that helps some of them guys out coming through the fronts, because now we're going to have some guys on some really old tires, guys on some really new tires, and it's going to be wild. Pace cars in.
Yeah, new name up front for this restart, Jason Dinsmore in the 8th place position, outside of row number 3, 4 for Jason Dinsmore. Yeah. Jason Dinsmore, a name we haven't said a whole lot out here tonight. See if he's able to get up there and put his name into the ring of possible contenders here, as we are down and away for another restart. Lap number 153, under 50 to go here.
Yeah, it is. You see Mar able to get that jump out front. I mean, you can see that the older tires right now obviously, are not being able to pinch down as much as he would like, not being able to get that bite off the turn that he would like. And you can see where Heinzman and company are able to get that run off the turn, but they still got to be careful. It's almost like I was talking earlier about where Sherman was having trouble, and you saw, I think it was Burnett or one of the ones behind him was trying to get around him, didn't want to get in the back of him. You can see right there, that's what I'm talking about. That's the older tires, just pushing that truck up to the front and just not being able to keep it down at the bottom. But good job being able to get that thing to stay where he's at.
And up towards the front here, Joe, battle for the lead heating up as Cody Heinzman takes a look underneath the 04 of Tanner Marr. He's going to have the nose down there into turn number 3. Into turn number 3, new leader 28, but hold the phone. Here comes Tanner Marr trying to keep that nose up on the outside rear quarter of the 28 machine. He's able to do so, and sideways is the 04. Here comes Corey Sherman for second.
Yeah, and then a lot of that was right there, was just set up into what I was talking about earlier with the tires. You can see he was having a hard time getting that truck to rotate, and that's just the older set of tires. Wasn't able to get it to pin down on the bottom where you needed to on this track, and you can see that the truck just wanted to kind of drift up a little bit. He opened up the door just a little bit there for Heinzman, and that's what it needed, just a little bit of patience with the guy in the back. Good effort, though, out there for Marr. Now, if a caution was to fly, he might want to think about, can we bring up some new tires? Because let me see really quick back here. Burnett would be the first one on the newer set of tires, and he's back here in 11th. he's made up a lot of ground, but he's watching that battle in front of him. So be curious to keep an eye on if this thing stays green, if he's able to, and there's not what he wanted to see, is Eric Anderson and goes around in front of him. Caution?
Yep. Yellow flag out over the speedway. Sounds like Eric may be involved.
Yeah, Eric Anderson was right there in front. The 97 and him was battling a little bit. Oh, just a little bump in the back by the 97, and Burnett barely missing that one. He almost got involved with it, and Eric just waiting for all the other trucks to go around. Gets it fired back up and going. Goes out to caution, but yeah, typical Martinsville, little bump going out there. But Hines been out front. Sherman sitting in second. Mitchell right there in third. Ping sitting in fourth. Look at our points real quick. Is Burnett right now and Harefield, excuse me. Not the nights that they want. And Mark back in the back. I mean, Burnett's still right there in 8th. Got a lot of guys coming on pit road. What do you think about this pit strategy?
Well, I think the guys that are coming on pit road right now, Rick Thompson, Andy Cork, Matt Semple, Stephen Burnett, Amanda Sherman. I think those drivers are expecting this maybe to run green here for the final 35 laps after we go green here.
All right, let's go. Yeah, Harefield, not the night he wanted, unfortunately. If he stays where he's at right now, pretty much going to take him out of that ticket to be in the final 4. Burnett, where he's sitting at, that's another one. Bowman, he needs to win. He's back there in 6. Did we see it? Then you got Caldwell right now, unfortunately, back at 13th. So the guys on the outside looking in, not what they need to be right now, especially with Ping and Sherman sitting up there in 2nd and 4th place spot. Because if it ended right now, we'd know those two would take it by long. So it'll be interesting to see how this one plays out as we get down to some, got about, 30, 40, 38 laps? Go.
Probably so.
Yeah, it's lap 162. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm going to go with that, folks. I'm not a mathematician up here, so. All right. Hines been controlling this one most of the night. Now, Sherman, I say that Bowman and him are out of it. But if Sherman wins this race, or Ping wins this race, Bowman could punch his ticket in here because he would actually be in front of Caldwell. So, Bowman's probably a cheerleader right now going, please, Sherman, Ping, win.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of people that are rooting for others, but Cody Heinzman once again takes the outside line for this restart here. We've seen this happen before. Cody Heinzman ready to take the green flag here, and away is the 28 machine, and a good start for the 3. The 3 might have a nose on him going down to turn number 1.
He does. Sherman out right there. He's saying he's going to win, try to win this thing, and I stand corrected on one thing is I forgot about Ping. He still got the points advantage over Bowman. So he would want to see Sherman win, and maybe Ping is have a little fallback way back in the back there so he could leapfrog him. But it looks like we've got a big one going on back here. Andrew Caldwell. It came up, so we're going to watch him first. Like a lot of the trucks, maybe just a little slide. See the 46. Oh, he gets in the back of the 05. He gets up on the apron. And then from there, just kind of bounce the field up a little bit. Okay, I take that back. Even if Sherman wins, you still got Ping right there along with him. So. Bowman needs a little help. But Bowman pretty much needs a win himself. Unless one of those guys have just a bad race. And as of right now, they're not having too bad of a race. They're having, what's going on, Doug? They're not having too bad of a race.
Yeah, they're doing all right out there. Checking out into our YouTube chat box once again out here tonight. Got 20 folks watching out the Tuesday Night Thunder Championship Series. Next week, we go to our championship finale race at Phoenix. 23 races down, and we're going to crown a championship next week. And then, Joe, we were talking about this before, but February 25th, you're going to be back up here hanging out with the Cyberr Thunder Racing League on Tuesday nights for the next.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be a good time.
Man. Let me do it, and appreciate you letting us come up here to OSR Network, OnlineSimRacingNetwork.com. And, appreciate everybody out there tuning in, and hit those likes and shares. I know the league definitely appreciate it. And let us know who your favorite driver is, who you're rooting for, who you're not rooting for. I know some people, man, like to root for people. Some like, man, I don't want that guy to win. What do y'all feel about Cody Heinzman out there? Feel like that he's been at, dream rises to the top. He's been at the top most of the race here. He's already punched his ticket into the Final Four. Sherman with, on points alone right now. Sherman and Ping, if they stay where they're at, they're in the Final Four. So this is amazing here. If the race was to end right now, your Final Four would be the top 4. So
yeah,
that's a picture of what we're going to see at Phoenix, because that right there, that would be a battle. Especially if you had a green-white checker at Phoenix, and these guys were right there. Woo, man.
Yeah, you talk
control.
Thanks, Joe. You talk about the possibility of green-white checkers out here this week and next week. When all the marbles are on the table, we'll see what these guys are willing to do to walk away with the trophy at the end of the night. But I believe we're 1 to go out here, and we're going to be about 30 laps to go. Excuse me. 30 laps to go here to finish this one out tonight.
Been an outstanding one here at Martinsville. Love the short track atmosphere, short track racing here tonight. Pace car ducks off on pit road. Heinzman and company up there along with Sherman and Ping. He's going to bring this field to the green as we're coming out of turn 4. Getting set. Flag's going to wave here under the lights. Martinsville style. Heinzman gets on the hammer. We're back racing. Sherman's still on the outside. Ping's going to see if he can dive it on the inside. And he does. He's going to see if he can take that second place spot away.
Big look from the 81 as they race down the backstretch side by side, nose to nose into turn number 3. Almost a slide by the 81 up here. Tanner Marr led a couple of laps earlier out here tonight. He's back in 5th place, but now Dustin Ping, he's looking for his first win on the season and looking to become a championship contender at Phoenix next week. Dustin Ping in 2nd place, yellow flag over the speedway.
Yeah, it looks like Gary Wright. Just not the night he wants either. In that 91, you see him battling back there behind him. He's in that 91 on the top side. Oh, the 97 got, I don't know if he got hit, but he came flying in there like a missile and kind of took out Wright and a couple other ones there. So,
the 91 Gary Wright.
Oh, excuse me, that was 97. Perfect. Watch it one more time and see what happened, because I don't know if he got shoved into the turn or throttle got hung or something, because that was just a wild there.
Yeah, you got to wonder what happens in the 97 there.
Oh, the 62 got into him a little bit, and I didn't look like he got woed down, and unfortunately, it just kind of come like a bull in a china shop coming through the field there, unfortunately, on his end. But I don't know if it's just maybe he thought he was spinning and he hit the gas. Sometimes when you start spinning, you try to get out of the spin by hitting the gas. He might hit the gas and it just went straight on him, and unfortunately straight right into a couple of the guys. It's a few of them back there in the pit road, but so far, a good night. What's that?
So, Joe, a couple of laps here to go under caution here before we go green. About 25 laps to go once we do take the green flag out here.
Oh, yeah.
Let's set the stage. Stephen Burnett currently in 7th place. He needs a win. Gary Bowman, 8th place, needs a win. Chris Harefield, out of it. He's not going to be advancing to Phoenix. Dustin and Corey, 2nd and 3rd place. They just need this race to run green the rest of the race. They just need to finish where they're at. Andrew Caldwell caught up in a couple of incidents out here tonight. He's going to need a whole lot of help in the next 20 plus laps to make his way into Phoenix. So I think we have a pretty good idea of who our championship contenders are going to be. But, I mean, you just saw that. One little misstep could really take somebody out of the race.
Yeah, and two, how hard do these guys race up here? If you're Dustin Ping, I know you want to win, but if Sherman decides he wants to press that issue and start racing really, really hard, how hard do you race? Because you're sitting there going, I'm in on points, but if those two guys get on, hang it up with one another, that could get Bowman in there. Now, with that said, you know, remember you said on the top half of 15 as we're getting set to go green, there's only 19 drivers on the lead lap. Actually going to be 17 drivers on the lead lap. So that plays a factor as we go back green. Heisman gets the jump. You see Sherman right there on the inside. Mitchell's right behind him, and that's what I'm talking about. Little contact. Whoa.
A little bit of argy-bargy coming through turns 1 and 2 from Corey Sherman and Dustin Ping as they race down to turn number 3. That puts Dustin Ping up on the outside line. Greg Mitchell going to take advantage of that possible spot here as Dustin Ping now underneath the pressure of the 55 Greg Mitchell.
You did say they were teammates, right?
Listen, I've wrecked a couple of teammates before.
Hey, we're out there battling like it was the last lap for that championship, next week.
Oh, and around goes the 04. Tanner Marr goes around in the 04 machine.
What happened here? Remember, he was on the oldest set of tires out here, so that thing is just probably wicked loose on him. He's on the inside there of Burnett. And Burnett went way high on the track. I saw him earlier on. He overdrove the turn. He lost a lot of positions. He lost about a couple, not too bad. But Marr, yeah, that's just, to me, that just looks like, well, he overdrove and then, did he hit the incident limit? Kind of looked like it did. The way that truck just blinked out. Like, I think there's an incident limit.
No, we don't have any incident limits out here.
Well, that's crazy, man. He might have been able to get that thing towed that quick, but either way, that right there was kind of just, those tires is probably just giving up. Remember, he pitted like way back in lap 111. So he had the one of the oldest set of tires. Greg Mitchell would be the second one out here with the oldest set of tires. Been able to do pretty good. Then in fourth place. Again, Mitchell, I mean, probably the reason why he hasn't pitted is, hey, look, even if that thing gives up, he loses several positions, he doesn't have a lot to lose here. Going to say good night. Okay. Well, we appreciate you out there, Kathy. Like I say, always, every week in and week out, I know you're out there pulling for Tom, and Tom's doing a great job in the booth, man. Sounds like a natural. Sounds like he's done it before. He might be not be telling me something.
Under 20 laps to go here on this next restart here, Joe, and I don't know if you're sitting down, but I'm about ready to stand up.
Well, if you're Sherman and Ping, what do you do here? I know Heisman keeps doing what he's doing, just try to control the field out front, but if you're Sherman and Ping, and especially you saw what Sherman, I'm going to say what I think. Ping knows now how Sherman's going to drive him, just by that last one. Okay, thought we were teammates, thought we were racing up here, but okay, you want to, spray a little paint, which I ain't got nothing wrong with that. Just don't wreck each other, but no.
Don't look now, Joe. Lights are out atop the pace car. Gary Bowman, Stephen Burnett, maybe they got a little bit of something for the first two rows out here. Both of those guys need a win. What does the 8 have? What does the 5 have? What does the 43 have? 43's not in for points, but Eric Anderson up inside the top 10 looking for a win tonight out here as well. As the pace car down and away. Here we go once again. 18 laps to go here at Martinsville Speedway.
Did not get going. Wow, Ping did not get the start he wanted, and that shot Sherman out there in the front. As you see, man, Mitchell's right along with him. Ping's in danger of maybe dropping back there to the 5th place spot, but he does have Burnett stuck to the outside. Yellow flag, and not quite sure that's. Tell me.
I saw the 43 get a little bit of a hip check.
Indy Court?
No, that's Mr. Anderson.
Let's go back on the replay and see, because usually when it doesn't flash up on my end, that means truck kind of just slid a little bit, and it triggered caution, and they were able to get it straight. See the 43 machine, Mr. STP himself right there. On the outside, and an up and down night so far. He gets a little bump from the 62, and he got straightened up for another truck, so. I'm wondering too, I go back to that bump and run. I talked about the bump and run. I've said I love to see it. I love the true bump and run. But I'm starting to think here, Tom. I don't know, because from the incidents we've seen tonight, these guys aren't like just slamming into them or running into them to turn them. It's barely a bump, which is what you would do for a bump and run, and it's almost sending these guys around. So I don't know. That's crazy.
I mean, you start to think here with 15 laps to go underneath the yellow flag conditions, you start to think the give and take turns into a grab and go with the championship on the line next week at Phoenix. Stephen Burnett trying to race his way in, currently in 5th place. Gary Bowman trying to race his way in with the win, currently in 6th place. Andrew Caldwell, he's made his way back up there into the top 10 after a couple of late race incidents, the 46. I tell you what, Joe, the 46 was my dark horse pick going into the chase. I had Andrew picked to go all the way out to Phoenix and possibly even win the thing, because he beat me for the final spot into the chase. So I said, hey, if you're going to beat me, you better go and win the championship. So the 46 possibly going all the way with a win.
Even with that said, there too, it's a good set to go back green. Even with that said, if you missed the Final Four, going into that last race, a win next week, though, would really help your confidence going in to the next season.
Yeah, absolutely. And once again, Joe, you take a look at the top 4, Heinzman, Sherman, Ping, and Mitchell. That's currently your top 4. We'll see if they continue to stay there. Just a handful of laps to go here from Martinsville Speedway. Cody Heinzman with the jump on the outside lane. Corey Sherman gets a good start. Dustin Ping, he took up on the outside here.
Yeah, he got stuck on the outside because Cody took that outside lane again, and we've seen that a couple times by him on some of these restarts. But you're kind of starting to see a picture again with the we still got some laps left, 2:14 to go, and you think it happened. But if these are your top 4 drivers, which would be vying for a championship, coming to Phoenix here, you kind of get an idea of what some of the strategy would have to play. I mean, what do you got to do? How aggressive do you get? And you see Ping get real aggressive right there. Wow.
Yeah, big curb hit for the 81 here with just 11 laps to go for the race. He gets those left side tires down. That's something we haven't talked about a whole lot out here tonight. You get down there, those curbs, they'll send you for a ride.
Yeah. And we've seen it a couple times tonight with some incidents, I was talking about. And the only way, to correct that is basically the driver has to correct it. See, Mitchell gets up in the wall coming hard out of the turn. That lets Burnett get around him. Bowman gets closed in on the back door. Remember, these guys tonight, those two, they need a win. As we look just real quick back here, 9th place spot, you got a battle. That's Mackenzie Milwane with Larry Bell and company. They got a huge battle going on with Caldwell right behind them. Eric Anderson almost with a spin. He's still hanging on up 4 spots there in 7th. So good battle here for 8th and 9th. It's Larry Bell's in a position he doesn't want to be right now as everybody's kind of single file to the top, and Anderson scraping the wall. Wow.
191 down, working lap number 192 for Cody Heinzman, looking for win number 9 on the season. Cody, last season's Tuesday Night Thunder Series champion, looking to go back-to-back with the championship next week at Phoenix, but he's got some company in order before he can do that. He's got Greg Mitchell, he's got Dustin Ping, he's got Corey Sherman. Those are the people that we expect to go out to Phoenix, but Steve Burnett looking to make the most of these last 7 laps here, 8 laps, is he's currently in 4th, looking for 3rd on Dustin Ping.
Yeah, I'm watching this huge battle going on right here around 8th place spots. You've got Caldwell coming around. Eric Anderson is in trouble. That truck's not handling the way it is. You saw Mackenzie Milwane up 7 spots, been able to get in that 7th place spot right now, along with Caldwell up in the 8th. So they're freight training right by Anderson. You see Larry Bell back there. It's kind of some of the better, kind of racing side by side going on the track, because the top guys for the moment, I mean, Heinzman, he's got a 1.1 second lead over Sherman. Yeah, it's nose to tail behind him with Dustin Ping, Burnett and company. They're all in a freight train. You got Mitchell and you've got Gary Bowman. So that's your from 2nd on back to 6th. And then you take it back here to where we were talking about a 1.8 second between Mackenzie Milwane in 7th, 8th, and 9th. So who makes the first move up here from these guys as laps are winding down? I mean, if you're Dustin Ping here, Tom, Do you just ride at this point? Do you go, okay, I know, well, never mind.
Oh, slide from the 3 car.
Wow.
Corey Sherman not locked into the final 4. Big slide. Not going to be enough to knock him out of the top 4, but a big slide with just a handful of laps to go is Corey Sherman. That puts Dustin Ping into 2nd and puts Steve Burnett into 3rd. But with just a handful of laps to go, Cody Heinzman, all eyes on the number 28 machine up front. Cody Heinzman looking for another win out here tonight in Martinsville. You know, he told me, he said, I like Martinsville, but you see those rotors glowing on that number 28 machine as he goes down to turn number 1 and halfway through the backstretch.
Yeah, I love to watch it there. You use a lot of brake at this track. Brake fade is something a lot here on the track. We don't talk about that much in NASCAR unless you do some road racing. It's more road racing style term to use, but we go back here to Corey Sherman. I was talking about what does Dustin Ping do? Well, now I'm going to flip that script on Sherman. Now, whoops, I had a little bit of slip up. I think it's pretty much in put it in safe mode right now.
And leaders in traffic, Cody Heinzman takes the white flag. This time is the last time in Martinsville Speedway for the number 28 machine. Looks to get his way into Phoenix by virtue of a victory. 2nd place, Dustin Ping, Stephen Burnett in 3rd. But Cody Heinzman all the way up front. Out of turn number 4, Cody Heinzman going to take the checkered flag in Martinsville for the Moose Juice 200.
Absolutely, man. You saw Burnett right there trying on his backside, trying to get around, man. Put a little bump on the back end of Ping, but like you said, Heinzman's going to take it in tonight. Ping coming in 2nd, Burnett there in 3rd. You're going to have Mitchell bringing it home in 4th, and Bowman there in the 5th place spot. Get a word in with some of these guys here, as it was actually an outstanding race. Martinsville style here, short track racing, a little bit of everything involved with these guys. Bumping on the track, pitch strategies. I mean, it was a wild one all through. Burnett and Ping. Then. Bring on Ping up here and let's get a word. You want to get a word with him, Tom? Leave. Still here, Tom? Well, I'll bring up Dustin and get away. I'll bring up Burnett. Hey, Tom, you still here?
Yeah, I'm here. I stepped away for just a second,
my bad.
No, you're good, but we're all back. Who you got pulling up first?
If I'm bring up Burnett, let's get a word with him. What do you think?
All right, let's see if we can't drag up Stephen Burnett. All right, finishing 3rd out here tonight, Stephen Burnett in that number 5 machine. Steve, you had one job out here tonight. Came up just a couple of spots short, 2 spots short on not only your first win of the season, but also a ticket to the playoffs at Phoenix. Steve, how was your race out there tonight?
Man, it was truck felt good, but man, it was hard to pass once everybody got going.
Yeah, we saw a couple of times some incidents, some door banging out there tonight. You come up just a couple of spots short, but I mean, hard to argue the season that you had. But next week at Phoenix, you're not going to be going for a championship, but you're going to be going for a race win and a mark on the 2025 season 1 schedule, saying, "Hey, I should have been there. I should have been ready to take a championship or whatever." Steve, kind of just anything that you want to close out here tonight for the last 200 laps of Martinsville.
Yeah, I mean, I had a blast this season. We came up short. This second round, we had some mishaps happen, and we're still going to go into Phoenix hoping and looking for a win, and we'll just try to get it going for next season and try to be back up top.
All right, Steve. Well, congratulations on a job well done out here tonight and a job well done on the season. Going to be missing the Final Four by just a couple of spots, but a great run nonetheless, and I know you're going to be a contender come next season.
Well, I appreciate it, Tom, and you and everybody over here at Cyberr Thunder. Y'all put on a good show this season. I mean, tons of drivers, good battles all throughout.
Well, thank you for the kind words there, Steve, as we're going to kick you down And perhaps I can even get you to volunteer for a review committee here as we get him out of there. And I think Joe has got our second place finisher, Mr. Ping.
Oh, absolutely, man. We'll see if we can't all bring a Ping. Ping, man, how you doing tonight?
Good.
Well, I'll tell you what, you punched yourself in the Final Four, but it was a wild race. I know you would have liked to have won it, but what was going through your mind there on this race?
Survive. Just trying to stay up front and not get in the carnage and see what we can do.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, was there anything you maybe could have done to get up there to get around old Heinzman late in the race?
First tires maybe, but I didn't want to lose track position. That's about the only thing I could have done to get to Cody.
Well, what's your mindset going into next week, going for this championship?
Survive and see if we can't win it. And I mean, I'm pretty good at Phoenix, so we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, tell you what, you got anybody you want to thank? Because you came in second tonight, man. Had an outstanding race.
Yeah, I want to thank the sponsor of the race, Pink Precision Auto, Expo, and Conrad Group.
Here you go, Dustin Ping, man, right now. Coming home in second. Grab a Cody up here. Let's get a word with our time.
Yeah, we got Cody Heinzman, the catch-up man. Cody Heinzman, win number 9 of the season. And Cody, you know what I'm about to say. You're going to Phoenix. You're racing for a championship next week. Cody, how you feeling out there tonight?
Feeling like I love Martinsville, and I don't think we got to show the best display of this track. But you know, when the racing's going, it's pretty good here, and I love this track. So being able to get a win here is really cool, and I am we got a championship I gotta go try and defend next week at Phoenix, and Phoenix is a really fun track suit as well, so that should be a good time. And the lineup we got, I mean, I feel like Greg and I have been on a collision course all season for the championship seemingly, but then you got Dustin and Corey, and both are absolutely really, really quick, especially on their day, so it should be a good show.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Joe and I, we were talking about it multiple times through the race. Your top four was your top four going into Phoenix between you, Corey, Dustin, and Greg. Next week, 200 laps to settle it out for a championship, though. Gotta kind of wonder, though, all the fair games and team games go out the window next week. Are you all in it for the 28?
Yeah, I haven't decided fully yet. I mean, we'll get there,
Okay.
and as always with every week, we'll always kind of help each other out with, you know, any lines we're running or little things about the track here and there and whatnot. I've always been of the mind when it comes to teammates and whatnot, like I'm always willing to help people out, because at the end of the day, if I help someone out and that makes them faster than me, well, that's a me problem that I gotta fix. So I have confidence in myself as a driver that, you know, I can help people out and I can still go out there and put my best foot forth and hopefully come out on top. So that'll probably be the game plan. I think it'll be really interesting to see how it goes. I think Greg is gonna he'll definitely step up his game. Not that he really needs to, but I'm real curious to see what kind of speed he shows up with, and we'll have the other three of us in a call kind of together. So it'll be a pretty interesting dynamic.
Well, Greg has a petition going to make Phoenix next week the Phoenix 2008 version, but I don't think that petition is gaining too much traction out here. But Cody, you're looking to do something that not many people have done here at Cyberr Thunder Racing League, and that's go back to back on championships. You won the championship last season in the Tuesday Night Thunder Championship Truck Series. Looking to do it again next week. We're going to close out Martinsville out here tonight by letting you thank who you got to thank and wishing you well next week at Phoenix.
Yeah, shout out to you guys for putting the broadcast on. I'm excited to go back and listen to the first broadcast I've heard Tom be a part of the call, and that'll be fun. Ooh. So shout out to you guys for that. Shout out to all the team guys at DNA. Always fun to race with them every week, and to all of the drivers who didn't make the cut, get to the championship race. The four that got eliminated today, Gary and Andrew and Steven and everyone else who, got to the playoffs and had a really good season. It's, overall we've had some blips here and there, cautions here and there, all of that kind of stuff, but it's been a really, really, really good season, and something that I think Cyberr can be really proud of. We got a really good lineup overall, and excited for what the next season holds, regardless of what happens next week.
Absolutely, and win, lose, or draw next week, like you just said, congratulations on making the Final Four, and I wish you well in Phoenix, Cody.
Sounds good.
All right, I'll see you down there in the driver's meeting room in a few minutes. Well,
man, I tell you what, outstanding race here tonight, Tom. But these guys, I I mean, hey, look, we're going into Final Four next week, Phoenix. Final race. It was a good one here from Martinsville.
It was a lot of fun. Probably a couple of more cautions than what Cyberr is used to or what Cyberr would expect. But I mean, Joe, this is what happens. You put 31 drivers on a half-mile track going into a championship race next season or next race. You're gonna have guys elbows out and door banging to try to make their way through, and only one of them at the end of the night did.
There you go. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed it. From myself and everyone here, the Cyberr Thunder Racing League. We got one more race next week for the championship. For myself and everyone, have a good night.